Obama once said that if all 1.4 billion Chinese were allowed to live like Americans, it would be a disaster for the world. This is actually one of the reasons why the United States is curbing China's development. His logic is, assuming that the total amount of Earth resources is fixed, if 1.4 billion Chinese are allowed to reach the per capita resource consumption of the United States, the world will face resource depletion. In fact, according to the survey data of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the United States discards up to 40 million tons of food each year, which is enough to feed 150 million people. The food waste rate in China is 5%, which is only a sixth of that in the United States. China's population accounts for a fifth of the world's population and is also a major pork consumer. China eats about 700 million pigs each year, while the global annual pig output is only 1.3 billion. This means that China eats more than half of the world's pork, with an average of 2 people eating 1 pig a year. If it reaches the per capita consumption level of developed countries, China's annual consumption will increase to 1.2 billion, accounting for more than 90% of the global pig output, and other countries may only have 10% of pork left to eat. The global annual vegetable production is about 1.1 billion tons, and China's annual consumption is about 580 million tons. The average Chinese person consumes 1.3 caddies of vegetables per day, which is 2.6 times the global average of 5 caddies. If the proportion of high-value vegetables is increased according to the dietary structure of developed countries, China may need to occupy more than 20% of the world's arable land resources. The global annual seafood production is about 200 million tons, and China's annual consumption is about 45 million tons. 46 kilograms per capita. Nearly twice the global average. 1 out of every 3 fish in the world is eaten by Chinese. If it is upgraded to the level of Japan and South Korea, China will need to increase its seafood production by an additional 4 million tons, which is close to 17% of the global total production. The global corn production is about 1.2 billion tons, and soybeans are 360 million tons, mainly used for feed. China's aquaculture industry consumes 300 million tons of corn and 100 million tons of soybeans each year, accounting for 25% of the global corn production and 28% of the soybean production. The population of 1.4 billion means that even if the per capita resource consumption increases slightly, the total amount will put tremendous pressure on the global supply chain. For example, if the Chinese per capita eats 10 kilograms more seafood, they need to catch 14 million tons more, which is close to Japan's annual consumption.